So the H'ness CB350 has been a success story for Honda India, and there are two reasons for that. The first is that it's now one of the best bikes in the 350cc segment, and of course the bike is made right here in India and exported to the world globally, which proves that a Honda bike made in India is a world-class product. Now, of course, the market in India is a very complex one, so Honda couldn't just rely on one variant of the CB350, and that's why they've launched the RS variant as well. Now, when you look at the bike, it looks almost identical. In fact, of course, it's shaded on the same platform, but there have been a few design tweaks to make this bike a little bit more sporty. But don't get the RS name tag wrong, actually, because road sport is not what it stands for. It actually stands for road sailing. So Honda still wants to emphasize on the fact that this bike is going to be a relaxed urban motorcycle, but at the same time, offer you that extra sportiness. Now let's start with the overall design of this motorcycle, because that is obviously the biggest change here. Now when you start at the front, you'll notice that a lot of the chrome bits are missing, and you can tell right from the headlight design. Instead of the chrome bit on the front ring, it's now all black, and of course the fender is not chrome anymore. It's also got this nice finish. It's got a new tire, of course, which is an MRF with a new pattern design, and this a fork boot that was an accessory on the H'ness is now stock on this motorcycle. Now, all the biggest changes of the CB350 RS are all at the rear and the middle. Now, the biggest change, of course, is that it's got a brand new seat. This is called a tuck and roll seat for you to have a much more relaxed but sporty riding stance. The rear foot pegs have also been placed a little bit towards the back. That gives your legs a little bit more control over the entire chassis of the motorcycle. And the exhaust has also been raised marginally. Again, another change, of course, is the new rear tire. The rear tire is now a 17-inch instead of an 18-inch, and it also is a lot wider. Once again, it gets that new tread pattern, and honestly, I think it looks very good on this motorcycle. Another small design difference you'll notice is that the rear section is different, and that the rear fender has been cut off, and it's not a chrome anymore. And of course, the tail light now sits under this tuck and roll seat. Now, all these designs do not make this motorcycle into a proper sports machine or even a scrambler for that matter. Honda still wants to stay true to the H'ness CB350 and make an urban motorcycle that's sporty and relaxed at the same time. So even though there is a skid plate now at the bottom of the engine, that does not necessarily mean that this bike is going to be an off-roader or a scrambler machine. Yes, there are some dynamics that have been changed for sure. The ergonomics are now going to offer you a much more sporty ride. But at the end of the day, this is still an urban motorcycle. Now, the sportiness, of course, will come with the new ergonomics and the rear tire, which will allow for better cornering, but then you still have that upright, relaxed seating position. The handlebars have not been changed because Honda still wants to offer that relaxed riding posture when you're in the city or on the highway. Now, a lot of enthusiasts would have liked to have clip-on bars or higher handlebars, depending on the type of riding stance they want, but still, at the end of the day, it's the mass consumer out there that likes the urban ride and at the same time wants to be relaxed at all times. Now, what we've always loved about the CB350 is that the quality is unmatched in this segment. Of course, this is Honda, so you have reliability, you have quality, and of course, you have performance. The engine is exactly the same. It's a 350cc unit, a single cylinder, but it absolutely feels amazing. It has the most torque output in the segment, which is 30 Nm, and it gets 21 brake horsepower as well. So in that respect, this bike offers great performance. So of course, as you can see from our past reviews, this bike certainly is the best performing in this segment. Now, of course, there are only two different variants offered with the CB350 RS, and that is the dual tone paint job you have here, and of course the monotone. But of course, the base price for this is going to start at rupees 1.96, which is slightly a bit more expensive than the H'ness, but still it's marginally different, and you get the same quality, you get the same performance. And honestly, in my opinion, I think this motorcycle does look a little bit better. I like the blacked out look instead of the chrome, and it also looks a lot more modern compared to the retro design of the H'ness. Other things you might want to know about this bike also is that the weight has also been reduced by about 2 kilograms, but the seat height also is the same at 800 millimeters. So dimensionally, there are a few differences. The major differences are essentially just the design tweaks and the ergonomics, which are going to help you have more sporty ride. So at the end of the day, the CB350 RS is still going to be one of the best bikes in this segment. We'll just have to wait now till we get the bike so we can review it. But until then, bookings are already open, so if you want to go down, so make sure you head down to your nearest big wing dealership. And if you're not near one, don't worry, because by the end of March, Honda has already announced that there will be 50 big wing dealerships across the country.